and Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Yeah. Little cranium for you. Welcome to 93.7 The Ticket. This is Bock the Blackshirt. It is Wednesday, October the 8th, 2025. It is Window World Wednesday with Todd Euler is in the house with us today. All right, guys, y'all ready to go?
Let's go.
Here we go. All right, this is kind of funky right here. D1 Administrative Committee adapts proposal to allow students, athletes, and staff to bet on pro sport.
I don't bet at all, so
Yeah, well, I'm a slot machine addict, so I can't really fault anybody
maybe
myself.
I do the penny machines.
There's no such thing as penny machines.
They're
Todd,
not
they
anymore?
just say
There
that.
used to be.
Well, probably in the 1980s and 60s.
When I
and-
gambled when I was 16 years old. Yeah.
See, you gambled when you were 16 years old. All right, Bob. The Division I Administrative Committee on Wednesday adopted a proposal that would permit students, athletes department staff members to bet on professional sports. The rule change must be approved by all three NCAA divisions. Division 2 and 3 are expected to consider the proposal during their meetings at the end of October. If approved by all three divisions, the rule change would be in effect November the 1st. What do you think
quick.
about that? Yeah, that's pretty quick.
turnaround.
So the gamblers just want to get into the NIL money. I take it. They want to get some of these guys' NIL money, some of these top coaches' money. Because Vegas.
Well,
Have you been to Vegas?
Yeah.
That wasn't built because people win. The house always wins,
Bet on the house.
right?
I don't know.
Have you been to Vegas?
Yeah, I win sometimes, so I'm not going to just say the house wins all the time.
It wins.
You just know when.
51%
You just know
of the
when to.
time.
You just know when to leave the house. That's when you
Yeah.
got to know what to do.
Oh, don't
What?
worry.
And we have seen, obviously, Iowa State, different places, college athletes get in trouble over this over the last couple of years. It's more accessible for young people, especially with their phones. It's legal in many states. Check your local state laws to make sure what you can and can't do. But I think
Bach is
that's
not giving out gambling
right.
advice. Is what he's saying.
But I do think that's part of the adjustment here from the NCAA is that if you want to penalize this stuff, it's going to be hard to track for one, and then is this somewhat of an outdated rule? Maybe when the guys are making money, should they be allowed to kind of do what they want with that money? I don't know. Everybody's going to have your own kind of moral rule on betting, but obviously you're still not betting on your sport on college sports, which would be the fear of obviously fixing anything.
You could just change your name to Dixon.
There would be it would be easy to do. To gamble
You're
or
just
have a
making
friend
it-
gamble.
You're making it more easier for the athletes. I mean, to gamble wise, if that's what they do. I mean, I don't understand. It's just why not just don't gamble for 4 or 5 years and save their money? I don't, because this is bad habits you can pick up when you
really
gamble
bad.
like this, especially on professional sports. You got all these FanDuel, Sports Kings, all these different
You bet on every
advertising sites.
play.
Yeah.
Yeah. But do you want your athlete, you want them to go to college and have all their students, all the students are doing it, they're on DraftKings, whatever, and then you're in class and you're the athletes are blocked out of that? Maybe you do, maybe
Those guys in class aren't at practice.
right?
So I don't know what the difference is.
So I'm just kind of trying to give a little bit of the opposite approach because I know you guys aren't
So
extremely
currently, and I don't know any of the gambling laws. So currently, if you are an NCAA Division 1, 2, or 3, or whatever there is, you cannot gamble on anything. Is that correct?
that's as the
That's
rules
the
are
rule?
right now.
Okay. So, but everybody else can. That seems unfair, but still, I don't think. You know what I mean? Why are you saying that they can't? And I'm not for it by any means, but it just seems like, how do you pick out the athletes can't do it, but the students can?
Yeah, I mean, and you know, if you're old enough to gamble, then again, you could do it usually, again, depending on your state rules. And there are folks that are able to get around those as well. So, I mean, it's not impossible.
Just make gambling illegal across the board, and then everybody's the same. That go over pretty well, I bet.
Yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. I mean, again, we're seeing it. It's an adaptation even for Lincoln. They've brought in Warhorse Casino.
Yeah.
You know, that was something that hadn't been around. You know, on the Nebraska side, you had to travel over to Iowa, make that trip to get some
to go to Iowa.
Yeah. So it's just I think
right
it's a little bit of public maybe perception on gambling loosening a little bit. Now the NCAA reacting.
Maybe that's a sign of times. Sign of the end times, maybe. It's everybody's loosening their belt on stuff.
All right, y'all, let's move on. Let's talk about this Lincoln High Millard South thing going on. Lincoln High canceled the game. They said due to extended player injuries sustained in the last week game and a number of other factors, we are communicating with Millard South and the NSAA that we are forfeiting the game.
Mm-hmm.
Now, when we talk about Millard South,
they're okay.
They're a great recruiting team. They recruit all over the state of Omaha. I mean, the state of Nebraska. They'll make you move somewhere, and you'll have a place to stay if you come. Okay. Here's one reason why I think that Lincoln High wants to cancel this game. Millard South has beaten opponents 342-10. They beat Lincoln Southeast last week.
73-0 or something.
77 to 0. And Lincoln Southeast, I think, beat Lincoln High 57-0.
Oh. Right, yeah.
That's one of the reasons why I think, because they might get 100 points put on them.
They will get 100 points. Nah, their running clock, it's a little different now.
Well,
you'd hope a coach wouldn't put 100 points on somebody.
Well, Millard wants to put 70 on everybody. I think they scored 73 times this year
10 touchdowns
already.
Well, that's the interesting part is I'm not sure if this is, and we've had response from a assistant coach that was at Lincoln High last year. I don't know if this is so much saving face. It's about their injured players because, I mean, if you're Lincoln High, you just get in line. So again, these are the scores. I don't think it would get a whole lot worse. Again, it was a good point that you made, Terrell, that Lincoln Southeast dominated Lincoln High, and they got dominated to the nth degree here by Millard South. But again, there's only so much time on the clock that the damage can be done. So they beat Millard West this year. This is Millard South again, 65-0. Kearney 72-0. Millard North 70-7. Lincoln Southeast 70-3. And it looks like PLV, who's that? Papillion La Vista there, 58-3. So it would just, if Lincoln High did play, yeah, they'd get absolutely destroyed, but so is everybody else. Mm-hmm. I think it's more about the injuries that they face. And this is a game they called last year at halftime because there were too many injuries piling up on the Lincoln High side.
So I've been through both with Trenton High School. We had a team that forfeited. It was our homecoming week too. And they just didn't. They're like, we have too many injured people, and you just deal with it, right? Like,
still play the game.
Small. That's small. That that's C2 school.
Play the game.
They didn't even have 11 kids.
6-man football. Yeah. Play the game.
So, but we're talking Class A. Probably have more than 11 kids on your team.
What's the worst you ever got beat in football?
The worst ever?
Yeah, college, high school.
I only lost 8 games.
Yeah. So high school, what's the worst you ever got beat?
State championship. My junior year, we got beat 28-6 by Norfolk Catholic.
28-6, not bad.
That's the worst.
You never got the brakes beat off you, and you was like, "Oh,
gosh, no."
Back to the drawing board.
I have lost 8 football games from junior high through college.
I have all close. Junior college. I've got destroyed in junior college. I think probably 38-6 or 3. We was terrible.
I think I can almost name all the losses I had. So my freshman year, we lost to Norfolk Catholic 21-7 the first game of the year. And then we lost to Wayne in the playoff, Wayne, and lost our first round play. Probably the first round playoff game, we got beat pretty bad. I don't remember I got knocked out in that game. So
I don't really
remember the score, but it was not close. But the most embarrassing, the most heartfelt loss was that state championship, 28-6. We beat them the first game of the year, and then they beat us in the state championship.
Yeah.
We just didn't show up.
I got beat in junior.
14-6 in the semifinals. My sophomore year, that was our only loss. Yeah.
Your memory is not that good.
No.
Yeah.
He's trying to name them off. You got halfway there.
Yeah.
I got about half of them. Junior high, I don't really remember. I mean, I know I lost 3 games in junior high. And 2 of them were to Norfolk Catholic. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 of my 8 losses were to Norfolk Catholic. I hate those guys.
So out of all your football, all your life, probably 8 losses.
8.
It's pretty good.
Yeah, I was blessed.
I got beat in
junior.
I think junior college, we got beat probably in the playoffs by Corey Dillon. And they probably beat us like, I want to say 50-something to 10 or something. But yeah, we was terrible. I mean, I wasn't terrible, but I mean, I have to say we because I'm part of the team.
Right, yeah.
I don't want to just sound like they was terrible. I did probably have about 15 tackles that game, but
bet you did.
We was terrible. I mean, yeah, we was terrible. Yeah, so I'm not really kidding. Now, the reason I want to say, because I want to talk about this now, I want to go to another topic from a guy who used to play at Nebraska, who said Nebraska doesn't deserve black shirts right now. PJ Smith. Mm-hmm. We all know who PJ Smith is. I do. He said that Nebraska doesn't deserve black shirts. He said because, hold on, I'm trying to bring it up.
Are we like the number 1 passing defense in the country?
Number 1, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yep.
We don't deserve black shirts.
I
don't.
The reason he said this was because, let me see, let me bring it up. He says, listen, I love the Huskers. I love the black shirts. They don't deserve the black shirts right now. So if you don't deserve the black shirts right now, why throw up the bones? I get it. We have a lot more work to do. We have a lot more room to improve. This season is still early, so keep getting better every single day. And eventually, when the right times come, when the defense is really clicking and we're stopping the run and we're getting more turnovers, getting more sacks, setting up our offense with short field position, now we'll start throwing the bones. Somebody said something about them not throwing the bones a lot, Bob.
I mean, he might have been asked, and I will say this: when he did play, I believe that is when they did the earn the black shirts type of deal, where you didn't get them preseason, and it was so you kind of had to earn it throughout the year. That being said,
had to earn it.
Yeah, I mean that being said, Nebraska's defense right now, as you mentioned, has the number 1 pass defense in the nation and number 11 total defense.
Horrible.
So it's they're doing pretty well there. Now what he's concerned about and what he's been saying is the rush defense. He doesn't feel like that's living up to the standard.
I get that.
Question, Bob. Who makes the rules up about black shirts? Players or coaches? PJ Smith's not a player. He's not a coach. He's not a player anymore. I'm just happy that these coaches are still allowing the tradition to go this long, especially with new coaches. Charlie McBride always emphasized about he'll take your black shirts.
Yeah.
I've seen it happen. Got my black shirt taken before. PJ Smith doesn't have room to talk. You want to know why?
Tell me.
Look at the worst game they played when he was there. Bob, what the score was?
Talking about the 2012 game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What the score was?
70-31, something like that.
70-31. Did they get their black shirts taken?
I don't think so.
They should have.
Yeah, they probably should.
So nobody has room to talk about who takes
70 points.
Yeah, who takes whose black shirt. Only reason why I say that because
they should have burned those black shirts. Giving up 70 points.
Now remember, he did play again for that was his final year, so he did play with the Levante Davids and Dominican Sues as well. So I think that's the standard that he would like to be setting back and going back to.
And we played in 93, 94, 95. We'd like to
I
see
played
that
it for
standard
Nebraska.
too.
Right.
I never gave up 70 points in my life in Nebraska. Probably combined points.
Yeah, maybe not combined.
But for you to tell guys that they don't deserve their black shirts, and you go to this school, just start with the baloney, man. I mean, you could be relevant saying other things or about trying to praise these guys to make sure this doesn't happen again. We seen what happened with Michigan. Okay, we seen what happened with Bowen and Wisconsin that year. Melvin Gordon, whichever one of those backs, are still running. They still, you ever heard that joke? You ever heard that joke Bock, about Melvin Gordon? He's still running.
Yeah, I don't want to hear any
He's
more
still
of that.
running. So don't have shots that somebody can take at you and you throwing shots. Yeah. Don't do that, because we all go to the same university. We all get upset sometimes. We all say things that we shouldn't say, and this is one of them to me. Yeah, that players shouldn't do. I'm just saying.
Yeah, I mean, I could see it. I mean, he was a guy that was invited on the podcast, asked to give his opinion, so that's his opinion. Again, I would like to hear the conversation maybe in full. Maybe Foley does believe, just because of the rush defense that they're not there. Again, to me, statistically, I mean, you can't ask for much better of a pass defense. Yes, they could get better in rush defense, but their numbers overall are pretty darn good. I just still kind of wonder if he's still coming from the approach of you have to earn them throughout the season, and maybe doesn't feel like they've quite earned them yet. Maybe you want a game where you hold a good opponent down to 10 points or so. I mean, I don't know what he's looking for exactly.
Here's another part. Okay, when I was with Bo Pinella, Coach Bo, had the number one passing defense in the country, right? But also we were top 5 or top 10. You got to check the stats or something like that. He said when stopping the run. Yeah, especially with Sue and all that when that was here. Yeah, that guy was pretty good. It was a pretty good, but
I mean, we can all say that. Was there anybody else on the defense that needed a black shirt besides Sue at that point? I mean, he was a second in the Heisman. They made everybody
else. He got 4th, but should have got 2nd or 1st.
Should have won it.
Yeah,
Sorry,
right.
You got 4th, not 2nd. But that's Tommy Frazier who got 2nd. But so how much easier would it be for our defense if we had a Sue in the middle right now?
Oof.
How good would our defense be right now if all we had was take one of our D linemen out and put Sue in right now? How good would it be? It'd be phenomenal, I think.
Yeah.
Because we're somewhat lacking in that position right now, and that guy dominated.
Yeah, one thing he said, rant comment. He said, not a single player this year has thrown the bones. You earn a black shirt, but after you make a big play, you play Spider-Man instead.
They were playing Spider-Man on Saturday.
Yeah, they were.
Make throwing the bones great again.
Yeah.
Do you guys like the Judy Spider-Man? That was a big man Spider-Man celebration.
No.
I don't think we threw the bones. We just celebrated and got right back in the huddle.
There was no throwing the bones back in.
Well, Grant, Tommy.
Maybe.
Yeah. I wasn't really big on throwing the bones.
It got really overused for a while.
Yeah. It's getting really overused a lot. But we'll talk about that another time. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt here with Todd Euler on Window World Wednesday. We'll be right back.
Limitless Male says it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Cobble Chevrolet GMC.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals just like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
Hi, Sean Callahan here, and I've got some great news for you. Koppel Chevrolet GMC is proud to be the #1 fastest growing GMC dealer in the Omaha and Lincoln metros. Koppel is also celebrating its 50th anniversary. We want to say thank you to all of our customers that have helped us reach these milestones. So come see why so many customers, including myself, are choosing Koppel Chevrolet GMC for their automotive needs. Please check us out at koppelcars.com.
Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln. A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates, and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole Ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O. Sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall-to-Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel. You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
I'll read a couple of these. Welcome back to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. Earthquake Glue says, hell yeah, T. Farley. 0018 says, black shirts are designated to the first string defense for practice. You can have more than 11 black shirts. I say 15 to 16 by the end of the year. Some of your starters, your backups are more like starters. So,
well, you have starting sets, right?
Yeah. Well, not really rotation sets. Like, let's say, for instance, for me, Terwilliger had his for the first 6 games. They didn't take his when they gave me mine, so he was still considered a top backup. You give it to your seniors at the end of the year. If you go to the bowl game, you take pictures. Don't know why they didn't take pictures last year, but it's something that we do Every year we go to a bowl game. We take black shirt pictures. You give them to your seniors, your top backup. So probably by the end of the year, you want to have at least 17 to the most. That's something Charlie McBride did. He knows more about black shirts than anybody. So I go by Charlie McBride rule. Anthony in Portland says number 11 defense in the country, number 1 secondary in the country. People are confusing the Michigan explosive plays with how good the defense actually is. Don't even need Sue. Just give Nash or Ty another year. That's from 5162. And Ohio Husker, I wish they would throw the bones. All right, y'all. Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for the Todd Euler Report with Window World Wednesday here at 93.7 The Ticket.
All right. What a beautiful fall day out there. Yeah, this week, obviously Michigan State game went. One of those games was just didn't feel comfortable the whole time with until we were 24 points ahead. It still didn't feel comfortable, but I'm getting there. I mean, it was one time that I feel like, hey, we just gave up a 14-point lead and now we're down 7, and we came back out of it, and so I think we've turned the page a little bit. I'll give them a little bit. We're not where we need to be yet, because we should have just stepped on their throat and kept. I think we could have won that game 42-0 if we had a little more killer instinct. So, and then we lost Matt a couple weeks ago. Verzal had another friend die of a heart attack, 47 years old. So, had that go on this week. It got his funeral Friday. So that's always tough. And then Winter World's been nuts. We're running this promotion. If you have us come out by October 15th, we're running out of time. We got one more week. Have us come out and do a free consult. Windows, doors, siding, roofing, gutters, soffit, fascia. We do anything on the exterior of your house. You get a quote. You get entered in to win 2 tickets to the Northwestern game. If you sign a quote by October 15th, for every $2,000 you spend on your beautiful home upgrade, you're going to get an entry into the Ultimate Game Day Experience with me for the Iowa game. This past Saturday in the Letterman's Lounge, Terrell and Bock, I got to sit with 1970 national champion winners.
Nice.
That was awesome. It was, I mean, to sit and hear those guys tell stories, and that was pretty cool. See their rings. Tell me how cheap Bob Devaney was. He goes, you guys got like conference rings and national championship. He goes, ours are all on one. There's a conference championships on there and the national championship. We got one ring. You guys got multiple rings. I said, well, now they give out bull rings. We got a watch. I don't know, but did you get a watch? Orange Bowl watch?
No,
you weren't there in
Fiesta
94.
Bowl.
Yeah, you were Fiesta. I got an Orange Bowl watch I still have somewhere. So it was really neat getting to sit with those guys in the Letterman's Lounge and hear their stories of that. Trent is recovering well. He's out of his sling already. That's good.
That's good news,
he's
yeah.
got to wear it when he sleeps, or if he's in like a super, like if he would go to a concert or something, or super crowded place. So recovery's going well. So yeah, that's really about it. That's all I got on the youth report, man. Not a whole lot.
Short and simple today.
Maryland,
Huh?
let's get to Maryland.
We got a away game, so I'm gonna unfortunately got to go home tomorrow. Go to funeral Friday, and then I'll just be at home watching the Maryland game. Obviously, some big games this weekend. We were talking about earlier amongst ourselves: Indiana and Oregon, Texas, Oklahoma, Ohio State, Illinois. Some pretty good games on this weekend. I look forward to watching a lot of college football this weekend. So the Penn State thing's just boggles my mind. First team in 40 years?
Yeah.
To be ranked in the top 10 and lose to a 0-4 or worse team. Like James Franklin might be on the hot seat. Might be. But that just once again goes to prove how tough the Big Ten really is. You got to be ready. And I do think the travel right?
Mhm.
If you guys remember last year, Penn State went out to USC and about lost that. I think they had to win it in overtime. I can't remember exactly, but USC was not that great of a team last year. I know they beat us, but they weren't that great of a team compared to how good everybody thought Penn State was. Penn State was a playoff team, right? Like they struggled with USC last year with that traveling 3 time zones, right? So I think that is going to become an issue, and I know people are watching it a lot closer than I am, but the 3 time zone thing is a real deal. It's hard.
Yeah, it is. So Big Ten teams, for those that don't know about the extreme travel that these teams are on taking, especially like you said, from a Penn State to USC, multiple time zones. So Big Ten teams last year were at 6-22, playing games multiple time zones away. Up until this point in the season, they are 5-5, and part of that is teams are going a day early. Michigan football is traveling to Los Angeles early today so that they can practice Friday at the Bolt, which is the home of the practice facility of the Chargers. Of course, Nebraska part of this. It's not, multiple time zones, I don't believe. You correct me if I might be wrong. But they went to, they're going a day early to Maryland. So I think Big Ten teams are just looking at that record from last year and factoring that in and putting in, a lot of them are putting in an extra day to get for travel.
Yeah.
Well, Nebraska's going to be an hour ahead, so they won't be like probably Penn State was.
Right.
Penn State was probably 3 hours behind. So, Nebraska's going up an hour. So I don't think it affects us, but it do affects teams when they go to the West Coast.
If we lose, then we'll say it did.
Yeah, we'll try.
Well, especially, one way or the other, if you're playing at 2:30.
Right.
You should be able to play at 1:30 or 4:30 or 2:30. It doesn't matter.
Right. But, Penn State was playing at the same time we were. So, they kicked off at noon, right? Out there. Well, it would have been 1 o'clock out there-ish or 12:30. Yeah. I don't know what the exact kick, because they did finish before we did.
Yeah, so I wonder what the time that game was for Penn State.
Because we were watching it on the big screen in the stadium. We're like, what is going on with Penn State? And they did. They actually made it closer than I thought they would. I didn't watch any of the game whatsoever, but I just was seeing the score. Like UCLA was out in front big time.
What does that do for your expectations in both those upcoming games? UCLA, people thought was a win. Now you have to think twice about it. Penn State,
and you thought Penn State we're going to get our butts whooped, right? Guess what? This team can win every game out. They can win every game out, but they can also lose every game out.
Yeah,
so,
it depends. Different teams get up for different occasions.
Yeah.
So just take a look at how Nebraska last year lost to Indiana. What the score was, Bob?
56-0 or
56-7.
Yeah.
They come back next week. They play Ohio State
and almost beat them
by 3. Same thing you can say about Indiana when they played Illinois last week, the week too.
Mm-hmm.
What was that 63-7?
10, I believe it. Yeah.
10. Then Illinois come back and beat USC.
Yeah.
Now they got an Ohio State team. They probably could beat them. We'll have to see how that goes this weekend, Coach. So it's not just I think it's just getting your team prepared, mentally prepared. I don't think but Penn State coach didn't do a good job of that. He should have had his guys focused and ready, knowing that trying to come back from behind and not really in a hostile environment because nobody's really at that stadium. But it was too late when you tried it at the end of the game.
Like obviously losing to Oregon in double overtime, took some emotional toll out of them. But you still have to be up for an 0-4 team, right? You still got to get prepared, and it just looked like they weren't.
Yeah, they might have thought, like a lot of people thought, is that you can just kind of roll over UCLA, and that wasn't the case. So we talked about your Saturday plan. Sunday now, somebody says, got to ask Euler about the fall of the Chiefs. Everybody's going to be jumping off that bandwagon.
Oh, yeah.
Jumping off the bandwagon. And we got the Lions this weekend. I said when I looked at the schedule and we lost the first 2 games, and we were 0-2 at one point.
Yeah.
I said, man, we might not win 4 games this year. You had a tough schedule. And that's okay. We'll get Kelsey to retire and we'll get some young bloods in there. Probably. That's where you're at as a Chiefs fan. It's time to rebuild.
It was a few games in panic mode.
Is it
Panic-
over? Is
panic
it
mode?
Is it over for the?
is
It's not
over.
bad. No, it's not. I looked at it
They're not
yesterday.
going to win 4
They're only
games.
one game behind in division.
Yeah. All right.
So far,
One
I think
game.
they've lost by 3 to the
Yeah.
Eagles and the Jaguars, and by 6 to the Chargers. So those are
Yeah,
all
they
good
doing
teams.
the
They
Scott
lost to the
Frost.
Chargers.
The Chargers are good.
No, they're not. They
They
lost
are.
to the Giants.
Everybody
all-
loses to everybody in the NFL.
No, the Chargers. One of my best friends is a Chargers fan, and I cannot handle that we lost to the Chargers. I just can't handle it because he lets me know every single day.
You Chiefs people are some sore losers.
I'm not a sore loser.
Yes, you sound like
I'm
it.
not sore. It's time to rebuild. The kingdom is fallen. It's time to rebuild. Get rid of the high ticket players. Get some young guys in there that nobody knows about. Nobody knew who Travis Kelce was until, Patrick Mahomes put him on the map.
Travis Kelce.
Hey, no, that's not fair.
He's a
Alex
Swift.
Smith, he was pretty good with Alex.
You
Smith.
talking about
okay
Travis
He was
Swifty?
okay with it.
You talking about
And
Travis
then
Swifty?
then Taylor Swift comes along and ruins.
She's
the
ruined the
Chiefs.
Chiefs.
She might have ruined it. Yeah.
She ruined the Chiefs.
Honestly,
Yeah,
I'm
hey.
not a Taylor. I'm not a fan of Taylor Swift, but especially not what she's done to Chiefs Kingdom. So
Taylor Swift album, they say it's not that great. So
I don't know. It depends who you ask.
I asked the Swifty, and
I have one friend on Instagram that every workout is to Taylor Swift that she posts on her story, and I cannot handle it. I'm going to have to block her. Why is you work out to Taylor Swift every single day and you post it on your story every single day? I don't get it. How can you work out to Taylor Swift?
I don't know.
Well, since her first 5-day release, her new album broke Adele's record from a decade ago. So it seems to be doing all right.
Yeah, she's got people. I don't know what do you call that?
Swifties.
Yeah, she got
Swifties, but
too many Swifties.
It's insane, is what it is. And
Yeah.
I don't want. Good for you guys. I'm glad you found a hero to look up to and follow, and awesome. I don't want any backlash from the Swifties.
That's right.
Because now I'll be like,
once you put it
I'll
out
be
there, you'll be a
canceled.
target. You could be. Yeah.
I'm already canceled now that I brought up
Taylor Swift albums ranked by a 40-year-old something bald professor. Like, okay.
Yeah.
Well, remember when the Husker, the Husker Twitter account was having fun with Taylor Swift after the game, and the Swifties really did go after.
They go
her.
nuts.
Yeah.
Yeah, they got mad at the university,
yeah.
didn't they?
Oh yeah, they did.
What they
And
mad at?
Nebraska took it down.
What was it?
Absolutely.
What was it?
they
Big
had-
Red or
it was Herbie. Yeah.
Herbie was what? Gave her a hug or something?
Well, they were. Yeah, it was basically just they took Travis out of their engagement picture, which is of them being intimate or close and hugging and look like they're going to kiss and put Herbie in.
Perfect.
Wow, I seen worse.
Yeah, it wasn't the worst.
Yeah.
But Swifties did.
Swifties can get a little
Yeah.
crazy. Awesome. Thanks guys for having me in today.
Thanks again. Yeah.
I gotta man, we're just busy, so I gotta take off to an appointment. So you're gonna fly solo the rest of the way. Sorry, Terrell.
Wow.
I'm leaving you hanging.
We
but
used to
I'll have my show 10 a.m. Saturday, the Power Hour with Todd Euler. We'll talk about Maryland.
All right.
All right.
Swifties out. 93.7 the ticket. Bock The Blackshirt will be right back.
MWR is dedicated to building attractive, affordable steel buildings that exceed your expectations. From commercial to residential to agriculture storage, steel buildings are cost-effective, attractive, and versatile. Plus, they're a lasting investment and an ideal choice. MWR uses Sentinel Building Systems out of Albion and can service you all over the state and region. If you have interest in a steel building, post-frame building, or fencing, give MWR a call today at 402-980-5273 or go to mwrbuildingandfence.com.
Mike, I've been thinking our house could really use a makeover. How about new siding?
I've been thinking the same thing. Have you heard of James Hardy?
Yes. Sarah down the street had Roofing Service Company install James Hardy siding on their home, and they love it.
Roofing Service Company does have great reviews.
They took her through the design process and made everything super easy.
Roofing Service Company offers expert design and installation. Couple that with James Hardy's durable products and variety of colors, you and your family will love your exterior remodel. Just visit roofingservicecompany.com. That's roofingservicecompany.com.
The party is back on in Lincoln this fall, and there's no party like the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show. Join the whole ticket crew for 2.5 hours of pregame coverage before every home and away game this football season as they get you ready for the game. It's the A1 Automotive Ticket Tailgate pregame show at our downtown studio at 11th and O, sponsored by Select Plumbing, Raising Cane's, Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits, Elway Power Sports of Lincoln, Currency, and the Kindler Hotel.
Schweizo Construction is now hiring for skilled craftsmen, steel erectors, concrete workers, and general laborers. Schweizo Construction offers great benefits like premium wages, health and dental insurance, paid holidays and vacation, 401k with company match, life insurance, and disability insurance. They pride themselves on a legacy of 40 years built on integrity and trust. Joining their team means becoming part of a family that values hard work, dedication, and mutual respect. Apply today at schweizo.com. That's schwisow.com. A lot of businesses say they're family focused, but when tough situations in life arise, the business wants anything but your best interests. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring, and they will always treat their employees like family, just as they do their customers. James Enterprise Incorporated is hiring Class A and B CDL drivers, a shop tech, and a diesel mechanic. If you're looking for a career with a company that goes above and beyond to value you and your family, apply today at jamesenterpriseinc.com or call 402-432-6740.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. High around 67. Tonight, clear skies and light and variable winds, low around 45. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze, happening high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flechter from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
At Valentino's, we're on a mission for tradition. On every slice, for every bite. Golden baked crust, cooked to perfection every time. Savory sweet sauce that's made from our own secret recipe. Loaded with the perfect amount of fresh toppings and melty mozzarella cheese. It's the tradition that Nebraskans have come to love. From game day to every day. Valentino's. Taste the tradition.
Limitless Male says it's all fun and games until your testosterone plummets. Testosterone levels can start falling as early as age 30 with symptoms like no energy, poor sleep, brain fog, belly fat, muscle loss, and mood swings. If this sounds familiar, get your testosterone checked at Limitless Male. We'll get you back in the game with more strength, energy, and confidence. When you feel this good, you'll wonder why you waited so long to get a free consult at Limitless Male. Get scheduled today.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
All right, welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Bock. Trying to transfer portal. They came back out with a new one. They're gonna officially adapt to the January 6th through the January 2nd through the 16th transfer portal window for FBS, FCS, and 26. The NCAA is officially moving the transfer portal season in college football from December to January, Bob.
That's something we're gonna have to keep in mind. It's crazy. I don't know if people would expect this or know this, but as you might expect at our station, it's wildly some of the biggest months our football season, as you would expect, but maybe the biggest the last couple of years has been December because of that transfer portal era and all the rumors and news you got to keep up on. So that might transition to one of our busiest times in the January. So that'll be interesting on that end. But the other thing is to kind of think about that is that's the time that kids can get in the transfer portal. They will have more time to find their landing spot as well. So, but most of those spots, you're going to find your landing spot rather quickly, obviously, as you're trying to put yourself in a position to compete and get to the next school. Many of them by that next semester. So it's interesting. It's still not perfect. There are coaches that aren't going to be happy with it because it's going to be going on during their playoff run. But it's a really tough time. It's tough to find a perfect 15 days that works for everybody.
Yeah. The D1 Administrative Committee also approves a reform around the transfer window. Expectations granted to players after a head coaching change, effective immediately, starting 5 days after a new coach is hired or announced. Players will have a 15-day window to enter their name in the portal. Until now, players was given 30-day window to enter the portal immediately after coaching change, which can lead to a large number of players departing the program before the arrival of the next coach. Players at Arkansas, Oklahoma State, UCLA, and Virginia Tech will be grandfathered in under the previous rule and are currently permitted to enter the transfer portal after head coach changes at their programs were fired in September.
Yeah, I don't know. Kind of the idea to do that obviously cuts the time down. All of this is to help roster management, which, when we started this thing, it was like, who cares? The coaches make this much money or that. But I think it's just better for the sport to be able to have an identity, have an idea of what you're going to do before having to kind of go across and look at different rosters and patch things together. Of course, this was hopefully, a lot of people are going to hope as well that this means you can bring back the spring game. You don't have the post-spring transfer portal window there. So, all this is a little bit better, maybe not quite as long for the kids to decide their future, but still, 2 weeks, long enough, I think, to kind of make a decision and give more continuity to keeping these rosters together, or at least being able in a decent time frame to put a plan together to do so. I think all of that, again, better for the sport in general with these new rules here. Now, is it going to cut down? We've seen ever since they opened the transfer portal every year more and more names. Is it going to cut down on those? I'll be intrigued to see.
Well, I'm glad it's down to one, because now you give these kids the opportunity to stay at one school for a year, because lately we've been seeing kids leave in the fall and come back in the spring, or leave in the spring and come back right before fall ball. And that's like robbing some other institution, because they're taking money from these schools, not giving it back. So this one-time transfer portal will make a kid really think about where they want to go and to continue their football and education career.
Yeah, it's hopefully, again, and it's tough to say. It's when you watch like college basketball, obviously it's college football specific, but I think that's where a lot of people are kind of having a little bit of trouble is following their college team because there's all these new rosters and new players. And so ultimately, I think continuity is going to help, with just the fandom aspect of it and kind of knowing from year to year and hopefully being able to cheer for those guys. I mean, I can already say it now in the current era. And we were kind of talking about this the other day, is it's a little bit harder to get up or excited for Williams Nwaneri's junior or senior season. And I'm only highlighting him because he's showing off and showing out, as it was the years ago. You'd look at a young guy in the roster and think, man, I can't wait to see this guy develop. And now it's, man, I hope they keep him, so it's just, it's a different day and age of college football. And I think, some of this can be better. I mean, I think there's more like the Big 12 this year. There's more quarterbacks that and kind of have seen over the years, and there's more incentive for those quarterbacks to, instead of going and being an undrafted free agent or, being picked in the 6th or 7th round, more incentive for them to come back. Obviously, if they're the man on campus, they're making NIL money. So there's ways that it has also been helpful in that aspect as well. But we'll see. I like the way that it's being a little bit organized. This is what we've talked about from the beginning. Okay, it's kind of the wild, wild west. We need to put up some guardrails. And these guardrails aren't necessarily to perfect what is going on, but at least kind of steer it in the right direction or aim it or condense the chaos. And again, I don't think this is going to completely change a whole lot. I think you're still going to see a lot of transfer portal action, but it does kind of condense the chaos.
Yeah, I feel you on that one. Let's go to break, Bock, and when we come back, hour number 2. We're going to do our red shirt tracker, Bock, when we come back to check on some players who have some games left. Some have one game left. Some have all of them left, Bock. But we'll check the main ones out there. We want to see get red shirted, and some we don't want to get red shirted. Here on 93.7 The Ticket, Bock the Black Shirt. We'll be right back.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Ryan, with all this red and all these people around, I'm still not seeing the tailgate.
Todd Spidell, former body shop owner, terrible driver.
We're getting close. Now, did you know with 3 locations in Lincoln and hundreds of years of combined technician experience, we can get Husker fans back on the road even quicker and safer after their tailgate mishaps. Oh, Todd, turn left right here.
Left or right?
Left, right here.
Right?
Well, you wait for the tow truck. I'm getting a hot dog.
Well, I guess while I'm waiting. All right! Most recommended! Eustace Body Shop!
Woohoo! Dude, you should be on American Idol.
You really think so?
No.
Accidents happen, even to Husker fans. If it happens to you, call Eustace Body Shop, where our customers send their friends.
The most recommended Eustace Body Shop. That's who we are.
Time for a new heating and cooling system? Get the options, brand, and efficiency that best fits your family and your home. Call Bryant Air Conditioning, Heating, Electrical, and Plumbing.
Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits is your place in North Lincoln to go for all your needs in wine, spirits, and beer. They also have a large variety of cigars in their walk-in humidor, and they have a top-notch walk-in temperature-controlled high-end wine room. Plus, you can enjoy free samples from their tasting bar. There's only one place to go for all your needs for spirits and cigars. That's Wall to Wall Wine and Spirits on North 27th Street in Lincoln.
Things that impair you come in many different shapes and sizes. Some are the shape of beer and liquor bottles. Others look like cigarettes but aren't cigarettes at all. These are the things we know impair us, the things our parents warned us about. What we're not always aware of is our new prescription or the over-the-counter medicine we picked up just for allergies or a bad cold. See, it doesn't just matter how much of a substance you take. If you are impaired, driving is deceptively dangerous. Don't drive impaired. Paid for by the NDOT Highway Safety Office.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com. On the internet, KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night as we bring you Bellevue West versus Lincoln Southwest, live from Seacrest Field with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Lincoln Southwest has won 2 games in a row thanks to a convincing 35-13 win versus Lincoln Northeast last week, and they now get ready to face off against the Thunderbirds. Pre-game is slated for 6:45 p.m. with kickoff expected at 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action between Bellevue West and Lincoln Southwest unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevens & Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction slams expectations.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds, anything high around 67. Tonight, clear skies and light and variable winds, low around 45. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze, anything high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
You're listening to Bock the Blackshirt.
Terrell Farley. Defending Terrell Farley, who last week in his first start was a holy terror. Number 43.
And Jake Bockoven. On air and online at theticketfm.com. Powered by Bauer.
Welcome to Bock the Blackshirt here on 93.7 The Ticket. We are on from your 1 to 3 hour Monday through Friday here at The Ticket. It is October the 8th, 2025. The Huskers will travel to College Park, Maryland this weekend to take on the Maryland Terrapins there, Bock. And now I want to talk about redshirting, Bock. Guys who's over the limit, under the limit, or right at the limit when we talk about it, Bock. We're going to talk about the guys who have not played at all, Bock, this year. Juju Marks, Jamarian Parker, Malcolm Simpson, Brian Tapu, and Tyson Terry. 4 guys who's most likely headed for a red shirt. We know that Tyson Terry came in with an injured knee, so he's going to also miss the rest of the year.
Yeah, no surprise there. I was kind of wondering, they said they might have a surprise at running back number 2 that maybe Connor Booth or Janarian Parker might have been one of those guys. Hadn't heard anything from practice about that. Again, it was just hey, it might be, we might have a weapon here at number 2. So at the number 2 running back, that didn't happen. I'm still kind of wondering who that was. Isaiah Mose did get 3 carries, the second most among anybody last week other than Emmett Johnson. So maybe that was the idea that just didn't quite come to fruition. But yeah, I mean, as far as these players go, not too surprising. Again, some guys injury related, other guys, it's offensive line, defensive line. It's going to be tough to play your first year. And more often than not, you're going to need a year in the weight room. And a red shirt's a good idea.
All right, Bock. Jeremiah Jones, he can play in 3 more regular season games. I think he's played in 1 so far. These are the guys who appeared in 2 games: Connor Booth, Jackson Carpenter, Sean Hammerbeck, Karen Jones, Houston Torres, TJ Lateef, Tanner Church, Camden Vermiles, Byron Webster, Mario Buford, and Malcolm Hazard Jr. has played in 2 games. I don't know about Malcolm. He might need to take a red shirt, since guys are really playing up. And if he really wanted to, I don't know, Bock. Sounds like a winner, doesn't it?
Well, I mean, we'll see. He's hopefully gonna come back this week. I don't think there's any thought of redshirting him. If that injury just happened to linger around and stick around, maybe it's an option. I mean, or as we saw last year, kind of with Tommy Hill, is kind of the same type of decision. Now he wasn't able to redshirt, but having only played 2 games, let's say he comes back, plays a few games, and the injury is just not going away. That's something that they could go back to, but I don't expect that to happen. And then obviously of that group, the most interesting one is TJ Lateef. We'll see if he's forced into action at any point in this season. Otherwise, they might be able to preserve that red shirt. Of course, all of this, by the way, with the discussion of maybe a 5-for-5 ruling coming in next year, and they're thinking, that might backdate to this year. So it's a strange situation. Matt Rule talked about this at his press conference. I think it was last week, maybe 2 weeks ago, where they would just like to know the rules. Again, that's more of college football, not exactly having a hand of what's going on, trying to figure it out kind of as they go. Obviously, if you play 5 years, 5 years of eligibility altogether, then there is no need for this red shirt. We can kind of throw it all out, and everybody can play as many games as they want to. So you really wish they would have figured this out before the season, but it is what it is, and we'll see too. I mean, I think there's maybe a possibility of a little bit of forgiveness kind of looking back at this year. But as of right now, I would say with a guy like that, you'd still keep a tracker on it.
Yeah, we're right, Bob. But we have to check on these guys, especially a guy like TJ Lateef, who could take a red shirt and can already seal his faith about doing something else. We don't know. We have to see how dedicated these kids are to the University of Nebraska, Bob, when we talk about the transfer portal and stuff. All right, Bob, let's see who else. All right, these guys right here appeared in 4 games right here, and if they play in 1 more, they can't redshirt. Pierce Newberry, Archie Wilson, and Willis McGahee the 5th, since he didn't redshirt last year, and he's a sophomore.
Yeah, and I mean, he's been in part of the rotation. I don't expect him to be one of those redshirt candidates. So I wouldn't necessarily expect that. Archie Wilson, of course, in here because he did not punt for a few weeks, if you remember back to that. So just no reason to put him in the game. But obviously, he's not going to redshirt either. If you've played in 4 games at this point, you're probably likely going to be, part of you got a role on the team, right? So, yeah, I don't expect any of these guys really to redshirt, but specifically breaking those guys down.
All right, Bock, these are guys who cannot redshirt at all because they have played in the first 5 games of this year. Deshaun Singleton, Deshaun McCullum, Dan Key, Kevin Gollick, Andrew Marshall, Cam Linhart, Jamar Kuhn, Vincent Shavers Jr., Dylan Riola, Carter Nelson, Keon Davis, Jakari Barnett Jr., Isaiah Mose, Cortez Mills, Dawson Merritt, and Cade. Pet Shot. Those are the guys who can't take a red shirt on anything right now.
Yeah, and if you're looking specifically at the freshman class, that's Dawson Merritt, Cortez Mills, Isaiah Mose, and Cade Petchak. Again, all guys who have been in the rotation. Maybe not at the beginning of it. It's been kind of fun to watch when they do get in and you kind of perk up. Petchek's been getting a lot of playing time. Maybe the surprise of the group as far as that goes. But yeah, no reason to ponder if the redshirting. They've already played enough, and they're going to continue to be part of the rotation moving forward.
Yeah, well, that's pretty good. I mean, if we can save some of the guys, probably like the Chief, I think we'll be okay.
Yeah, and you kind of go back to that group that appeared in 2 games as of right now, and I think a lot of those guys are going to be in the redshirt category. Because that was more often for a lot of them is just is the Akron game, is the Houston Christian game. Circumstantially, that's where you try to get guys playing time. If you're going to use one of your 4 or 2 of your 4 games, that's where you do it. So got a lot of freshmen in that group. So yeah, those guys would be more likely than any, I think, to redshirt this year.
All right, Bock, let's take a look at Maryland's depth chart for the week. This is a young team, Bock. When you think about Maryland, they got a lot of young guys. Got some holes to fill at receiver next year, but when you get past that part, this is basically a young group, a young team when you look at it. Wide receiver X, Shalik Knox, he's 6'3", 194-pound senior. Receiver Z, Octavian Smith Jr., 6 foot, 182-pound senior. And wide receiver Y, Jael Farouk, he's 6'2", 213 pounds. Then you have Ratrell Perry at your offensive line, who's 6'5", 317. Isaiah Wright, who's 6'5", 315. Michael Hursley, who's 6'5", 295, sophomore. Perry's a junior. Then you go Allah Baha at O-line, 6'6", 327, junior. Alan Heron, 6'6", 320, senior. Tight end is get this thing off of Dorian Fleming, who's 6'3", 245-pound sophomore. Malik Washington, 6'5", 231-pound freshman, and DeJuan Williams is a 5'11", 215-pound redshirt freshman at running back. His backup is Nolan Ray, who's a 6'1", 212-pound sophomore.
Yeah, it's interesting too. Week after week, we're doing this, and I think it's becoming more obvious. There's not a whole lot of small offensive lines in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
I think everybody's kind of caught on to the fact that you're going to have to get some rather big people in to protect your quarterbacks. And again, no difference here. You read them off. Both tackles about 320 pounds. Between 6'5" and 6'6". And then you even look at they're all across the board. They don't have a starter that's listed under 6'5". So. Kind of a big line, and it's done well again so far as pass protection goes. Malik Washington's been sacked once. That's hard to even fathom right now as a Nebraska fan, having dealt with 12 sacks in the last 2 games. But that's where it is. And then again, to your point of youth, and that's what I'm interested, with Mike Locksley moving forward, is to see how this season plays out, because he's coming off a 4-8 season, right? He's in year 9, I believe, 8 or 9. And so you don't want to see back-to-back losing seasons. But at the same time, and I don't think they're headed that way, but obviously the schedule gets a lot more difficult. They've been winning non-con games for years under Coach Locksley. It's the conference games that have kind of held them back, is to see kind of how this season finishes, is, just because they've got so much youth that you were talking about earlier. Their leading rusher, a redshirt freshman. Their quarterback, of course, a freshman. Their 2 leading sack artists are both freshmen. They've got several starters on the even on the defense. You can see freshmen, redshirt freshmen, sophomores involved. So it very much is a young team.
Yeah, when we go on the defensive side, DN, Sidney Stewart, D-line, 6'2", 255 freshman. Nose tackle Cam Rice, D-line, 6'2", 303 pounds. He's a grad assistant. D tackle Dallin Funtz is 6'6", 292 junior. Jack linebacker Zaire Mathis, 6'6", 222-pound freshman. Daniel Wingate, 6'5", 230-pound junior linebacker. Trey Reddick, 6'4", 218-pound sophomore. Left cornerback Brandon Lee, who is a 6'1", 178 redshirt freshman. Levine Scruggs is a DB at the strong safety. He's 6'3", 215-pound junior. Jalen Husky, DB, 6'2", 201-pound senior. And Dante Johnner, who's a 6 foot, 80-pound junior. When you look at that, nickel Kevin Holmes, 6 foot, 185-pound sophomore. When you look at that, Bryce McPherson, 6'2", he's the punter, 6'2", 191-pound junior, and Sean O'Hara is 6'2", 188, place kicker, redshirt freshman.
Yeah, and they're gonna come to town with that 3-4 defense. I guess they're not coming to town; they're staying. We're gonna travel out there and see them. But in any case, the numbers again specifically that I would look out for as far as disruptors for this defense. Daniel Wingate, he wears number 1. He's their leading tackler. So he's pretty darn solid as a linebacker there. But the numbers that I'd really look out for, given Nebraska's problems, number 29, you mentioned him, Sidney Stewart, the freshman up front, 6'2", 255. Number 29, like I said, look out for that number because he's already got 4.5 sacks on the year. The other one, Zaire Mathis, coming off playing that jack position, another freshman, a little bit bigger, 6'6", 222 pounds, a little bit taller, I should say, a little bit less overall as far as weight, but more of kind of a linebacker weight, 6'6", 222 pounds, 3.5 sacks for loss. So again, number 29, Sidney Stewart, number 9, Zaire Mathis, and number 1, Daniel Wingate, I think are the numbers to look out for on that side of the ball for the Terrapins.
All right, Bob, when we look at this Maryland offense, like I said, good size to it, not too shabby. I think it's probably, I don't want to say a little bit better than Michigan State. I probably put them on the same level as Michigan State, but more better at pass protection than anything, better than the rush.
Yeah, I mean, it's fun because when you kind of go up and down their own rankings, they've got some pretty stark differences in their strengths and weaknesses. Of course, the big talk all week long has been on that other side of the ball with the defense, and I think that defense probably should be more of the talk for Maryland. Their offense is always going to be what Nebraska fans are focusing on because, of course, Nebraska's rush defense hasn't been all that good, and you're worried about a mobile quarterback. But I'll say it, as mobile as he is, I'll say it all week, he only has 22 yards rushing. Part of that is by design. They don't want him to take a whole lot of hits. They're not bringing him on a whole lot of, saying we're going to run him 10 times, having him do read options here on all that. A lot of his scrambling is to throw. All that being said is Maryland leads the conference with like 39 pass attempts per game. So you're kind of thinking, okay, what are we getting out of this offense? It's a lot of passing, and they're 128th in the nation in rushing. Again, they don't use the quarterback a whole lot to do that. Now they've talked about it. Mike Locksley is kind of thinking this week, well, Nebraska, it's pretty good pass defense, so they're going to have to get that run game going. If they can do that, and they're going to attempt to do it. Nebraska's biggest goal, I think, in part of this is to make them one-dimensional, make them do, go one way or the other. And obviously with their strength, that would be shutting down on the run game. If Nebraska can lock that up early, I think that'll pay dividends throughout the game.
Well, when you look at they're probably weakest, probably on the offense box is their rusher.
Yeah.
When you look at the leading rusher, who's Williams at 59 carries, 209 yards, 3.5 yards a carry. His longest 17. Their longest a group of running backs is 17 when you look at them. Now, when you go to the receiver side, it's kind of spread it out, equally among all the guys. Smith Jr., he's the leading one at 19 catches, 324 yards. Knox got 18 catches, 305 yards. Farouk has 233 yards. Fleming, the tight end, has 171 yards, 21 catches, 8.1 yards a catch. You got to look out for him, and 2 touchdowns. Knox has 5 touchdowns, and Weber has 1 touchdown. But, when you look at this group, that's a pretty good wide receiver group when you throwing the ball to so many different guys.
Yeah, it is. I mean, they are able to spread it out. But again, I do think that there's maybe I don't want to say too much respect. I mean, this is a 4-1 team. But again, I don't think this is an offense that's going to kind of blow you away. 48th passing offense in the nation for as much as they pass the ball, could be thrown for more than 256 yards a game. Their total offense ranks 97th with around 350 yards per game. So, it's scoring offense at 30 points per game, solid at this point. A lot of that non-con factored in. That's 61st in the nation. Nebraska, with their non-con figured in, averages 42.4. Obviously, in the Big Ten, that's going to be a little bit different. When you look kind of up and down, even some of their scores there, outside of the Towson score, which I think you kind of have to throw that one out. Northern Illinois, the team they played earlier this year, who's only 1-4. They only beat 20-9. Florida Atlantic, they put up 39 points. That's pretty solid. But then 27 here against Wisconsin, and of course 20 against Washington. Could not do anything on their final 5 drives, which is the exact opposite of their defense. Their defense gave up nothing but points in in their final 5 drives to Washington. That in the victory formation. So they should be a little bit hungry. But I do think, similar to last week, I don't want to build Malik Washington up so high that we think that you're going into the game facing Michael Vick. I mean, he's solid, but he at times has looked like a freshman. He's got a big arm. Sometimes likes to use it or see if he can. He hasn't been overly turnover prone, so I don't want to set it up that way. But again, neither was Aiden Childs going into that game, and he had a couple interceptions. Malik has just thrown 2 at this point. But similar to last Saturday too, when weather could enter the discussion. It was very windy last week. They're expecting kind of stormy weather throughout the day on Saturday in Maryland. So what's that look like? Definitely going to play a factor for both these who rely on their passing offenses. But this isn't one of those games where if Maryland goes out and scores, 30, 35 points, Nebraska can look back and say, hey, well, it's been a pretty explosive offense. It's been okay, but they've leaned on their defense more often than not. As I went through those scores, you might have noticed on the other end, I'm saying where they're kind of reaching as an offense. On defense so far, only 10 points given up to Wisconsin, only 9 points given up to Northern Illinois, only 7 points given up to Florida Atlantic, 17 to Towson for what's that worth, and then 24 against Washington. So that's really been the strength of their of their team so far.
All right, Bock, let's go to break, and when we come back, we'll talk some more of this college football, and we'll talk some more Maryland when we come back. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock in the Black Shirt.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. Join the club today for $1 down, $15 a month, now through October 10th. Planet Fitness is proud to partner with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to create stronger, kinder communities. See Home Club for details.
Mike, the insurance company wants us to replace the roof.
Wait, what? I thought everything was fine.
Yeah, it says right here our roof is too old and they won't be able to cover us anymore.
I guess it is 15 years old. Hi, I'm Austin with Roofing Service Company. We help homeowners with their roofing and siding projects. Financing options are available, and we can get you under a new roof no time at all. If this sounds like you, visit roofingservicecompany.com. That is roofingservicecompany.com.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night as we bring you Bellevue West versus Lincoln Southwest, live from Seacrest Field with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Lincoln Southwest has won 2 games in a row thanks to a convincing 35-13 win versus Lincoln Northeast last week, and they now get ready to face off against the Thunderbirds. Pre-game is slated for 6:45 p.m. with kickoff expected at 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action between Bellevue West and Lincoln Southwest unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. It doesn't get any better than that. So call 402-488-8934 and HIS Auto will make you glad you did. 5% off, mention this ad, and for sure your mother will be proud you called. 402-488-8934, HIS Auto Care, 70th and Van Dorn. God bless you.
When it comes to concrete, Stevens & Smith Construction doesn't stall. They go for the takedown. As Nebraska's full-service concrete contractor, they stay in bounds, hold inside position, and never forfeit quality. Whether it's foundations, flatwork, or concrete coatings, they elevate performance and pin down results that win every time. Stevenson Smith Construction is a proud sponsor of Takedown Tuesdays on 93.7 The Ticket. Because when it's time to wrestle with concrete, Stevenson Smith Construction slams expectations.
This is Rick Heyman with Sartor Heyman Jewelers. Sartor Heyman is celebrating 120 years, and you could win big. Follow us on Facebook and Instagram for your chance to win a $120 gift certificate every week. That's right, we're giving away $120 every week as a thank you for being part of our story. Don't miss your chance to treat yourself. Follow Sartor Heyman Jewelers today. Celebrating 120 years. Sartor Heyman, when only the best will do.
Go Hog Wild Pit Barbecue.
It's hard to choose a favorite at Hog Wild, but I'd have to say it's their award-winning ribs. Hog Wild buys their meat from those who share their high-quality standards, then hand rubs each slab with their famous seasoning blend and slow smokes them over hickory each and every day for flavor and tenderness you're gonna keep coming back for. Order online at GoHogWild.com. Hog Wild Pit Barbecue, 3210 Cornhusker Highway in Lincoln.
But don't be late, we close at 8.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Comfort food, but make it vegan. At Rutabagas, they're serving all your crave-worthy classics. Mac and cheese, loaded nachos, Philly cheesesteaks, all 100% plant-powered and 100% delicious. Catch them at their cozy spot at 70th and Vine, or find their food truck rolling through the streets of Lincoln. So whether you're vegan, veg curious, or just hungry for comfort food with a twist, Rutabagas has a plate waiting for you. Find them on Instagram for their food truck location and specials. Rutabagas, where comfort meets compassion.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contests, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
This fall, Baumgars has everything you need to get your farm ready for the season. Don't miss Fall Discount Day this Saturday, October 11th, for one day only. Get 17% off regular priced items. That's right, 17% off. From the barn to the backyard, Baumgars has you covered for all your field, farm, and fall fix-ups. Some exclusions apply. See a store associate for details. Baumgars, what you need, when you need it.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt, on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to 93.7 The Ticket. Bock and the Blackshirt here from 1 to 3, Monday through Friday. We are powered
by
Bauer
Infrastructure.
Bauer,
Underground,
Brett.
Excavating.
All right. Big Daddy Travis said, Blackshirt, I'm curious. Are you getting Battlefield 6? Big Daddy Travis, have you ever heard me talk about any other video game besides what, Bob?
COD, Call of Duty.
That's it. That's the only thing I play. I have college football. I haven't played it in a month or so. Nick and McCook says, if our schedule is easy as people say it is now, could we go 11-1 and not make the playoffs? Nick McCook. Bob, I'm going to let you answer that one.
I don't think there's any Big Ten teams that's going to go 11-1 and not make the playoffs. We talked about it right now. There seems to be, and it's kind of weird to talk about it this way, this far into the season, there's going to be some changes, but there appears to be a few teams that you would expect to make the playoffs from the Big Ten, including Ohio State, Oregon, and Indiana. And then, who else is going to fill out those spots? I think if any team, regardless of difficulty of schedule, within conference, goes through the conference with that record, would miss it. The other thing is, though, you would also think that record would be good enough to make it to the Big Ten championship game. And so it wouldn't be quite that easy. But even then, I mean, I think if you even went 11-2 and lost that championship game, I'd still think you'd get in. It's just going to be hard to keep any team, and part of that's going to be the depth discussion that the SEC has had forever. One thing the UCLA's victory over Penn State does for the conference is say, hey, it's a tough week in and week out. It doesn't matter the rank, the conference records, which is what the SEC's been saying forever. So Nebraska would definitely get there. The difficult part of that is going 11-1 to start with.
All right, Bach. We're gonna starting this week. I think it's next week, Bach. We will have the first Wednesday football game of the season tonight with two Conference USA's matchup. Today marks the first of 49 consecutive days with either a college football or NFL game on TV as Conference USA and eventually the MAC will now play their Tuesday and Wednesday night football game, Bach. So from 49 straight days, Bach. We can't even go anywhere. Monday night football, Tuesday football with the MAC, Wednesday with Conference USA, Thursday night NFL and college football, Friday football, which Nebraska plays next Friday in Minnesota. Then you got Saturday college football, Sunday NFL, Bach. That's what I'm saying, Bach.
Now, you got to be a little bit of a football freak to really get into these Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm not really. Yeah, I'm not really a Tuesday and Wednesday type of football watcher.
I mean, I appreciate it. There's the opportunity if you want to, like you said, to see it. But I mean, you got to be really into it. I mean, like for instance, tonight, like you said, Missouri State, Middle Tennessee, out there in the CUSA. Middle Tennessee's got one win so far. Missouri State's got two. Tickets for that game just in general are $14 to get in. Liberty and UTEP battle 1 and 4 teams on the CBS Sports Network tonight. $11 to get in there in El Paso. So unless you're a fan of one of those teams, it's going to be tough. But I appreciate the folks that really get into those games. And at the worst, at least you got something that you can put on in the background, a football game, and see if it gets interesting.
Oh, my mic came on. That's bad.
Did.
All right, Bach, let's go to Bill Belichick, man. Are we in trouble for what we call a one and done with Bill Belichick? Parents of North Carolina players weigh in on the toxic nature of Bill Belichick's football program. They say it all started at the top, and the boys are being effective. I don't fault the players. I fault the leadership that created this toxic environment. This was said by one of the parents of current North Carolina player on the program. Wow. Bill Belichick, he came and messed up North Carolina. They wasn't that bad, Bob.
Right.
They wasn't that bad under Mac Brown. You can say what you want to say. Mac Brown had them playing football.
Right. I mean, they've been bowl teams the last couple of years, even when they're not living up to what Mac Brown had built there and done there before. It looks bad. I mean, it looked like among the worst Power 4 teams in college football right now. Obviously, this last couple of weeks, lost 34-9 to a UCF team that we kind of know the situation there with Scott Frost. Not expected to be all that great this year. And then Clemson, who's been really struggling, beat them 38-10 this past weekend. And yeah, I mean, I saw it, saw the reports too. There's thoughts of preferential treatment for guys that were handpicked by Belichick, and specifically his son, Stephen Belichick, who brought some guys in from Washington, getting preferential treatment. And some of the North Carolina fans, or excuse me, the other players and their families are not too supportive or happy about this. I'll tell you, you probably wouldn't be hearing any of it if they were just winning. So that's always the kind of the fix, the move that there to make the fix. I don't think it'll be done. I think if you're going to go through that much trouble to get Belichick there, and he's going to risk his name to take a chance on college football and go to North Carolina, they're in my mind, you're going to give them a year, regardless of what it looks like. First years can always be pretty tough. You are trying to reset standards, culture, all that sort of stuff. And that can be regardless of how good the team was before. If they were a 6-win team, but that wasn't good enough for North Carolina's leadership. So they were looking to move on. And part of that process sometimes can be knock it down before you build it up. So, I mean, I think he's going to last longer than a year. But I don't know if I believe this year is going to get a whole lot prettier. And with the frustration, now it sounds like they're starting to kind of turn against each other.
Yeah, I mean, maybe that's what was a bad choice in what they did. Maybe we probably thought he would be a good college football coach, but eventually he's not college material. And this is showing with their record. They're 2-3, 1-2, and 0-1 in the ACC. And it's just, they're in a 2-game losing streak right now. I mean, it doesn't look great for them. Some people probably wish they could have kept Mac Brown, because Mac Brown wasn't this bad of a coach as Bill Belichick was at this point.
Yeah, I mean, remember last year, the one that really got to Mac Brown was 2 years ago. They were doing well, but they ended up with 8-5, something like that, to finish the year. And then last year, again, they kind of made the decision to move on from Mac Brown after losing 70-50 to James Madison. It started a 4-game losing streak where they were kind of 3-4 midseason. I think it was before the end of the season. They made the decision that they're going to move on and to a degree let him finish it out. That I know he didn't completely finish out the UConn game. I think he was there for the North Carolina State game there at the end, if I remember correctly. But yeah, so I mean, it depends on what you're embarrassed by. If you're embarrassed by giving up 70 points, and that's where they kind of decide to make their move. The loss to Duke the next week wasn't going to help. Then you're gonna have to take whatever it is from year one. But again, they were expecting. I always kind of like compare it to in Nebraska terms. It was taking over for Pelini, not necessarily taking over for Riley. Of course, when the predecessor for Pelini came in, it was, hey, we already won 9 or 10 games. Let's boost it up. Let's get better. And for Carolina, was in that 6 to 8 win discussion. Let's boost it up. Let's get better. And as opposed to taking over for Riley, where it's like, all right, we're kind of rehauling, restarting here. And unfortunately for Carolina fans, it's breaking down into a restart, a complete overhaul here. We'll see. Again, I think that there's way too much of a history of Bill Belichick winning to give up on this thing right away. I like to remind people the longest tenured college football coach right now in college football is Kirk Ferentz. His first year at Iowa, they won 1 game. So sometimes it can take a little, take that first couple of years. Matt Rule knows it well. That his first years haven't gone well. He's been able to turn things around. So I don't know if they necessarily thought they were getting a program builder or hoping for a program builder in Belichick, but it looks like they're going to have to kind of just wait it out, feel themselves, kind of see what they can do throughout the season, see if they can eke out a few more wins. But I highly doubt this team's going to get bowl eligible. And then this offseason is going to be fascinating because you're going to get the response to the idea that Carolina needs a lot of help. Are they going to be an attractive destination?
Well, we know one thing. He's no Kurt Signetti, but hey, we know that. 93.7 the ticket. Bock The Blackshirt will be right back.
Sometimes good people make mistakes. When you find yourself in need of an attorney, call Liberty Law Group. The attorneys at Liberty Law Group will defend you in court and protect your freedom to get you the best possible outcome and the justice you deserve. Trust your freedom to Liberty Law Group, the best criminal attorneys in Nebraska and Iowa. Call them today at 877-404-5238. That's 877-404-5238. Or check them out online at libertylawgroup.com.
Are you ready for a new opportunity? Check out Sandhills Global. Join a dynamic team where your skills are valued and your career can soar. We offer full-time positions with a 4.5-day work week, competitive pay, excellent benefits, and a positive work environment. From IT and marketing to sales and finance, we're looking for talented individuals like you. Apply today at sandhills.jobs and take the first step towards an exciting future. That's sandhills.jobs. Don't wait, apply now.
This just in, hot off the bench press. Planet Fitness has expanded strength equipment. We're raising the bar with these benches, and our hack squat will have you actually looking forward to leg day. Plus, we're still repping all the best-in-class equipment we've always had. There's no better time to get stronger. Join the club today for $1 down, $15 a month, now through October 10th. Planet Fitness is proud to partner with Boys and Girls Clubs of America to create stronger, kinder communities. See Home Club for details.
Join LES at 6 p.m. Thursday, October 9th at the LES Operations Center to learn about the utilities' proposed 2026 budget and electric rates and share your input at the annual public meeting. Learn more at les.com.
Are you looking for an exciting new way to put your skills to work? Explore new career options in the fintech industry at Currency, a Sandhills Global company. We offer full-time positions in financial sales, compliance, operations, and other fields. We also offer a 4.5-day work week, an attractive benefits package, and opportunities for advancement. Put your motivation to work and grow with us at Currency. Visit gocurrency.com/careers to learn more.
Anderson Ford in Lincoln has 2 convenient locations, which means 2 times the customer service, 2 times the inventory, and 2 times the ability to get you in the car of your dreams. Whether you visit us on the north side or the south side, you'll find more selection and a team that's always on your side. When you're looking for a better way to buy your next Ford, visit Anderson Ford in Lincoln, where exceptional service meets unbeatable selection.
Hey guys, it's Nick. Join me and Jay Foreman this Friday night as we bring you Bellevue West versus Lincoln Southwest, live from Seacrest Field with kickoff scheduled for 7 p.m. Lincoln Southwest has won 2 games in a row thanks to a convincing 35-13 win versus Lincoln Northeast last week, and they now get ready to face off against the Thunderbirds. Pre-game is slated for 6:45 p.m. with kickoff expected at 7 p.m., and you can hear all the action between Bellevue West and Lincoln Southwest unfold right here on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning.
Your Lincoln forecast for today, we'll see mostly sunny skies and light winds. Anything high around 67. Tonight, clear skies and light and variable winds, low around 45. And tomorrow, we'll see mainly sunny skies with a light breeze. Afternoon high near 69. I'm meteorologist Kyle Flecker from 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Hey there, this is Paul Scheel, owner of High Electric. I want to thank our friends and loyal customers and introduce High Electric to those looking for a new electrician. We've been serving the Lincoln and Omaha area for over 30 years, from design to install, upgrades, and repair. If you are a homeowner or a small business needing some electrical work, call us at 402-466-6606 or check us out at hyelectric.com. We look forward to hearing from you.
Here at Aspen Builders, our company is building more homes today than I thought we would ever build.
Bob Benish is the founder and president of Aspen Builders, online at aspenbuildersinc.com.
You know, I am just shocked at how strong our market is here in Lincoln and at Aspen Builders. We're probably helping people right now more than ever get into a new home. We've been able to find pieces of ground we can develop affordably and keep our lot prices down a little bit. I think with our volume discounts and our office staff, 35 years of experience, we figure out a plan that's going to work great for you. We make it perfect. We make it fit your price range. All of this is part of the reason we're so busy.
Make your dream home a reality and call Aspen Builders at 423-6811. Online at aspenbuildersinc.com. Your home is waiting at Aspen Builders.
93.7 The Ticket is proud to provide listeners with daily opportunities to win contests and prizes on our airwaves, and would like to take this opportunity to remind you of a couple rules. All participants must be 21 or older and must wait 30 days after winning a prize to participate in another contest. Once you win, you have 30 days to pick up your prize at the KNTK Studios, 1040 O Street in Lincoln, or your prize will be forfeited. Thank you for participating in our contest, and thank you for listening to 93.7 The Ticket.
You're listening to Bock and the Blackshirt on air and online at theticketfm.com.
Welcome back to Bock and the Blackshirt here for the last segment at 93.7 The Ticket. All right, Bock, we got a good game this weekend. I don't know if your game chart is going to look like this game chart, but let's see. Let me get to it. All right, top 10 games of the week 7, Bock. OU, number 1, OU versus Texas. Number 2, Indiana versus Oregon. Number 3, Alabama versus Missouri. Number 4, Michigan versus USC. Number 5, Georgia at Alabama. Number 6, Ohio State at Illinois. Number 7, Arizona State versus Houston University. Number 8, Iowa State versus Colorado. Number 9, South Florida versus North Texas. Number 10, A&M versus Florida.
Yeah, good weekend of games. It seems like every weekend is pretty good. I remember there was maybe week 2 or something like that earlier in the year that kind of felt like a drop off. But now again, with these super conferences, all these brand names playing each other, it used to be when the Red River Shootout was there. There might have been another kind of national game, but that was the one that was going to draw the nation's eyes. Now there's a lot of competition there, and certainly when the schedule was made, maybe they didn't think Indiana Oregon was going to be what it is, the monster that it is. Coming up this Saturday. But it's a good group of games. I just wish that one was not on right when Nebraska is. I'll have to watch the replay of that Indiana-Oregon one.
No, I'm not watching no replay, Bock. No.
What if Indiana beats Oregon?
I'm watching the Indiana-Oregon. I don't care what you say, Bock. That's a great game. Why would you not?
What's Nebraska-Maryland?
It's going to have to be in that window part, Bock. You know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, you're gonna have a couple split screen there.
Yeah, I'm gonna have a split screen.
Yeah,
with the volume on the Indiana Oregon game first though.
We'll see how interesting the Nebraska Maryland game. That'll certainly make a difference. Hey, we do have a few things we got to do before we get out of here. One is the Cash Blitz keyword. The other is a Bar 48 gift card. So we're being friendly here on our final segment of the day. Stay tuned for a second. In just a second, we will give away a Bar 48 gift card. But I do want to say it is time for the IBA $1,000 cash contest keyword. Get your phones out and get ready to text to 508-777-1000. That's 508-777-1000. Or head to our website, theticketfm.com, and click on Cash Blitz to enter. All right, today's keyword here on Bock and the Blackshirt on this great Wednesday is putt. That's spelled P-U-T-T. Text putt, P-U-T-T, to 508-777-1000. Remember, every keyword you enter is another chance to win. One lucky listener will take home $1,000 tomorrow around noon. Don't wait. Get that keyword in now. We'll have more keywords throughout the week here on Bock and the Blackshirt and throughout a variety of shows here on 93.7 The Ticket. And Terrell, I don't know.
I got one.
You got one. You got one for the Bar 48 game.
Bar 48 one. What's the last running back in the last 5 years to come close to 1,000 yards rushing?
There you go. First one to text that in to 402.
I know that answer.
5685. We'll get a gift card to Bar 48. Bar 48 is Lincoln's newest craft cocktail lounge, conveniently located on North 48th Street. Bar 48 offers everything from cocktails, beer, wine, and so much more. Follow Bar 48 on Facebook to stay up to date on their live music performances every Saturday night. Make plans to visit Bar 48 on North 48th Street in the heart of University Place neighborhood today. Do we have an answer? Looks like we do from 7826.
7826. He got it right. Anthony Grant. 900 and some yards his junior year. Come back for a terrible senior year. Not a terrible, but it wasn't great.
Fumble prone.
Fumble
and so didn't get as
prone.
many
Yeah.
touches.
So Anthony Grant was the answer to that one.
So 7826, if you could text in your name, then we'll get that Bar 48 gift card prepared for you. And a reminder, we give out Bar 48 gift cards Wednesdays, Thursdays, and Fridays here on Bock the Blackshirt. So always a reason to listen.
Yeah. Oh, Dad said he knew it. He just didn't want to. He's in Newcastle. So.
Well, and Emmett Johnson is somewhat, going along that path as we're looking at it for Nebraska to be 1,000-yard back, something Husker fans have asked for forever. He's what, 26 yards away from halfway there. So 474 through the first 5 games of the season. Definitely could be that guy, averaging 5.6 yards per carry, 7 touchdowns. I mean, he's a big game away. And, by a big game, I mean, maybe, I don't know if he'll get the carries, but 150, 200-yard game away, get a few more touchdowns. He's going to have a pretty good, he's having a very good season. I'll put it that way.
Who's that?
Emmett Johnson.
Oh, yeah, he's having one. I probably say he can get almost to 1,000.
Yeah, I mean, and then you also got to factor in his receiving yards. He's second on the team in receptions. Often, of course, not getting the 9 routes or getting downfield and getting the big time receptions. Often getting smacked for the receptions he gets because he's sometimes the dump off guy. But still, 22 receptions on the year. That's second to Corey Barney's 23 with 110 yards. So in total, especially, he's nearing getting close to 600 yards.
I don't know, Bach. I'm looking at something. I think this is just fake right here. Oregon player punching his coach on X. You ever seen it?
I don't think so.
Yeah, it's got to be fake.
Oh, you know what? There's like this. Someone would know a little bit better than I. There's like a Netflix show. I don't know if it's a show. I gotta look it up. Like Kenny Powers or something.
Oh yeah, that's what it looks like. The Kenny Powers. Yeah,
I think it's
that is the Kenny
show.
Powers. Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you watched any of that yet?
I have not. I have not really followed along with that. Is this from the Eli Manning joke that he did years ago, trying out for a team in a undercover costume? Is that the idea behind it all?
Well, this is a guy who messed up his high school career, so he waits a couple of years go by and he does it again. This time to get a scholarship, but he falls in love with the coach's daughter or something. I don't even know how old this guy is. He's probably he's 35 years old trying to go back and play a high school kid.
Yeah, I don't know, because Kenny Powers is from Eastbound and Down, I believe. So maybe I'm getting the wrong name. But I definitely know what you're talking, because I've seen these like fictional little scenes with guys from Oregon's with Oregon gear on, which I think is interesting enough.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yeah, maybe if you know, it's called Chad Powers.
Chad Powers, yeah.
Chad Powers.
It's just a little series coming up, but I don't know. I probably never watch it. I never finished the All-American, that show All-American either.
Yeah, I mean, it's got college football.
They go too far. They go too far with it. You go to football and then you what kid be's in high school for 8 years? Like,
well, there's kids in college for 8 years now.
Well, I understand that part, but when you watch it though, he's grown. He's a grown man. 25 and 8, and he's a senior.
Yeah, I'd have to get more information on it. I don't even know what streaming service it's on.
I think it's on Hulu.
Okay, Hulu. Yeah, I just haven't checked it out too much. And yeah, from what they're saying on the text, it is from that old Eli Manning trick when he went out and tried to try out for Penn State. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Chad Powers can run. Chad Powers can throw. Chad Powers can throw. He can run. Chad Powers was slow. Did you see that part when he was running the 40? Oh, he was real terrible.
Was Eli Manning's speed?
Yeah. He was like 5. I think it was like a 5'9". Something he ran.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't great.
Yeah, I don't know. I maybe I'll check it out. Some people think it's pretty funny.
Well, it's worth the try. Anything worth the try with what we were watching with with Tuesday and Wednesday football.
I say you're gonna watch that over tonight's game.
No, I'm not. I got to clean tonight. So late night for me. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock The Blackshirt. We are powered
by
Bauer,
Infrastructure,
Bauer,
Underground,
Barrett.
Excavating.
All right, check us out Friday. Oh, tomorrow's Thursday.
That's right. Check us out then too.
Yeah, check us out Thursday and Friday. We got left on the week. Nebraska plays Saturday at 3 o'clock, is it? 2:30?
2:30, yeah.
Yeah, Maryland. 93.7 The Ticket, Bock The Blackshirt. See y'all tomorrow.
Rico here with HIS Auto Care at 70th and Van Dorn, letting you know HIS is a great place to bring your vehicle for service. With superior service bumper to bumper, we'll treat your vehicle like it's your mother's. Doesn't get any